Hello, this is Bart, and I'm here with a nugget of wisdom to empower you for your body, mind, and spirit. Today, I will be reading an excerpt of the document Persistence as outlined in the program Thinking into Results by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher. The whole goal of this excerpt is for you to be able to reprogram your subconscious mind. So as I'm reading this message, please listen to this every single night for 30 consecutive nights, and you will be successfully reprogramming your own mind, your subconscious mind, for persistence. So I start at a certain point where I believe it starts to become really interesting, so you get the full bang. How do you become persistent? That's a good question. Persistence is never developed by accident. You're not born with it and you cannot inherit it. There is no one in the world that can develop it for you. You must develop it on your own. Persistence is as interwoven with success as the chicken is with the egg. Ultimately, persistence becomes a way of life. But that's not where it begins. To develop the habit persistence, you must first want something. You have to want something so much that it becomes a heated desire, a passion in your belly. You must fall in love with the idea of what you want. Literally fall in love with the idea of what you want. Magnetize yourself to every part of that idea, and then persistence will be automatic. The very idea of not persisting will become hateful, and anyone who even tries to take your dream away from you or stop you or even slow you down would be in serious troubles. Difficulties, obstacles, and challenges will appear on a regular basis, but because of your persistence, you will achieve victory every single time. Very few people have admitted to themselves that this is what I want. This is what I really want, and I'm prepared to give my life for it. Now that last statement may cause you to think, hey, wait a minute, and that's fine. But we should seriously think about this, because we are already giving our life for whatever we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So what are you doing? What are we doing? And what are we trading our life for? And are we making a fair trade? Remember, whatever you're doing was your decision. Or was it? You could possibly be one of those people who were unconsciously stuck in a certain pattern. But treat this message on persistence as your wake-up call. This message on persistence will help you to get out of the foothills and lead you to the very top of the mountain, all the way to the summit. It's not a chairlift, and it will not make the climb any easier. You will still attract the necessary problems, but they will come to strengthen you. This message will definitely make the climb to the top of the mountain a lot more fun. It will also help you to develop the granite strong attitude, the certainty and the inner knowing that you will get to your top. The summit will be yours, and the view from the top is going to be awesome. It will be reward enough for all the problems that you encountered to get there. Talking about summits and persistence. Let's go back and think about the story of Ed Hillary conquering Mount Everest. What kind of a passion do you suppose he felt for his goal? He must have truly wanted to climb that mountain. Think of all the physical and mental abuse he subjected himself to. He was obviously prepared to give his life for what he wanted. So every person who had ever tried to climb Mount Everest showed that they either failed or they experienced a tragic death trying. So most people, when they think about Sir Edmund Hillary and his expeditions, they may ask what kept him going. Well, he wanted. That's what kept him going. That is why he was persistent. He wanted, and he really wanted something at a gut level enough to keep him going. So when a person doesn't understand it, they may ask why. Why did he want it? He didn't know why. He didn't have to know why. He simply knew that he wanted. The want was important. Persistent people, they may not always know why they want something, but they know that they want it and that they must have it. And to have it they must do, and to do they must be. They want it so much that they keep envisioning it until they become the living and breathing embodiment of whatever that want represents. For those are the steps which must be followed for the creative process to work in our lives. Ordinary people did extraordinary things because they consciously recognize that this is what I want, and they refuse to suppress it or dismiss it. They would not let it go, even if failure, rejection, bankruptcy, or even death was staring them in the face. It would have to be that way, or the ordinary person would never do the extraordinary. They would never persist. The power of their want and the intensity of their persistence caused them to draw on resources they previously were not aware of they possessed, and they expressed what they had within in greatness. Remember, if the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. The great psychologist Alfred Adler, he nailed it when he said, "I am grateful to the idea that has used me." The very idea of persistence filled every cell of Ben Hogan's being. But that was because his want was so strong. Remember, persistence is the real focus of this message. It is important that we keep that in mind. Properly digest it in your mind that persistence will make you your own star. It will give you that #1 hit worldwide. How does an idea, a want, a dream get such a grip on a person that persistence becomes a natural outgrowth of it? Napoleon Hill explained it very well. He said, at first the idea, the want, it has to be coaxed, nursed and enticed just to remain alive. But gradually the idea will take on a power of its own and sweep aside all opposition. It will then coax, nurse and drive you. He went on to explain that ideas are like that. They have more power than the physical brains that gave birth to them. They have the power to live on long after the brain that has created them has turned to dust. So have you decided what you want? It is an absolute must if you want to be persistent. If not, the problems of life will defeat you. It is a well-known and documented fact that the problems in life are numerous. They are often giants and they come often. But when the dream is big enough, the problems will be beaten and the facts won't count. So we must give these two concepts priority in our own life: want and persistence. Make your want clear and big and beautiful, and you will persist. Decide what it is that you truly want more than anything else, and you will naturally be persistent. Remember, if the want is big enough, the facts don't count. And also remember what Napoleon Hill said. There may be no heroic connotation to the word persistence, but that quality is to the character of man what carbon is to steel. So go and do it. Study success, choose what you want, and then persist. And life will then be what it is meant to be.